Cybersecurity is becoming really, really key.
They're connected.
Yeah.
What if they get hacked?
They all face this kind of challenge.
And then right now it's the execution time.
Anyway, thank you. First, I would like to thank Eric
Thank you.
for welcoming Veritas in your nice booth,
Thank you for coming.
CNT, during this Computex 2024. So yeah, the topic today is cybersecurity. So cybersecurity is becoming really, really key. When you listen, when you hear what happened worldwide, not only in Taiwan, but in US, in Europe, to have all these cyber attacks, right? And even the big one. If you look recently in Taiwan, you have TSMC, you have Compal, you have Advantech. They all face this kind of challenge. And what interesting is, I know this company, they are very sensitive about IT security, right? And when you look like past years, you have the ISO 27001, 27002, which is really for the IT environment. But now when you look at the trend, when you look at the industry 4.0, when you look at the smart manufacturing, you have more and more threats with automation process, connected device, connected IoT, and this is very a huge door for hackers to attack the industry, right? And so this is why now we have the new standard, I would say, not new, but really more global and more advanced, which is 62443. And I think this was, Eric, one of your main targets to achieve and to be compliant with this standard, right?
Right. So yeah, like for CNT, our industry is industrial computers, right? So we are dealing with a lot of different applications actually in the field. And these applications are mission critical. They need to run 24/7. For example, transportation, oil and gas, energy, right? Even industrial automation as well. And these applications, they can't really go. They can't really have any downtime. So we hear like examples. For example, we know in 2020 in US, even for oil company, their pipeline got hacked, their control system got hacked, and 2.5 million barrels are stuck there. They cannot supply to where they should go, and it creates a huge problem. And we see now going into EV, right? All the charging stations, they're connected.
Yeah.
What if they get hacked?
Yeah,
They
for
cannot
sure.
provide power to vehicles anymore, and all the transportation is stopped. So we are dealing with these kind of customers and applications where they cannot be stopped. So also in the application, they generate 0 bytes of data, and these data are important to them, and they cannot be stolen. So we are really hearing this in the market. So we need to address this.
So if you don't have a secure product, you may damage your reputation, right?
Exactly.
And you may face a lot of financial losses, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And huge. Yeah. Tremendous. Okay. So I think really it starts from the customer side or from the demand side that we know about this standard. And as knowing the standard, we afterwards learned that there are a lot of compliance or process that we need to follow or to implement into our own existing process. That's how we found the expertise from BV and then bring the help to really help us. So first of all, I think it has been the process for months, but it's a very valuable process to first understand our existing product development engineering process. And then add on to that, how do we, along with this process, to add in the procedures to evaluate the threats, to check the weak points, or to have better security about all the files handling, etc. So these are all the extra processes adding to our existing ones to make sure that, okay, we have this process in place, and then the customers, when they got the products from ours, they can have the better trust and better security of the products.
Yeah, and when you choose the 62443, right?
Right,
Because the 62443 is the most adapted, I would say, for this industrial environment.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look the scope of this standard, you have, as you say, industrial, you have railway, you have new energy, smart cities, smart buildings. So it's really now the most common standards, which is really giving to the customer a kind of professional engineering management guideline for OT, and also a kind of comprehensive protection and information security indicators for risk management. Because when you talk about security, we talk about risk management, right?
Right. Yeah. Also, really for CNT, because our products really starts from engineering and go all the way to validations, and even we include also manufacturing process. So we actually need to really bring in you guys' help to bring in this process along all these different areas. So right now, for example, when we design the products, we know that, okay, we need to consider like the anti-tampering screws or anti-tampering design to provide on the hardware level, what kind of secure mechanism we can provide for the customer or to enhance the product security. And also, I remember that we also need to have authority of all the files internally, so that, okay, engineers can only access this kind of files while the other departments cannot. So I think that really bringing the new ideas or a really new concept in our working process, so that overall the product, our process, the whole organization, it's more secure, it's a lower risk.
This is one of the strengths of this standard. It addresses the process, organization, process, and product. Yeah. So now, if you look ahead, we will. The world is changing, right? And the world is becoming more and more complex. All the geopolitical issue. So now you have the war. The war may be a kind of physical war, but it can be also an IT war.
Okay.
And when you were talking about the charging station, if tomorrow we cannot provide any electricity, the world is down. If there is cyber attacks on industry, the world is down, right? So it's becoming really more and more important to secure the assets, to secure the industry, to secure the product. And when you look at especially Taiwanese customer, now you export overseas, right? More and more, you need to face your customer requirements. And they are really more and more demanding. So what I was sharing with Eric before is that even this standard is not mandatory yet, but all the customers start to require to their supplier to meet these requirements. And in 2027, because you talk about what happened ahead, we will have the CRA, which is the Cyber Resilience Act, will be mandatory in 2027. And so the trend definitively is cybersecurity will be mandatory everywhere. So I'm thinking about you, CNT, that they need to start now to be ready and to be able to be competitive for the coming years, because it will be a key topic to keep competitiveness compared to other, I would say, other suppliers.
Yeah. I think, hearing the cybersecurity, that's something definitely we are also getting more and more awareness, actually from the customer side, from the market side. Yeah, and we understand that this is only the beginning for us. Right now, we are finishing 62443-4-1, but we are also aiming further. We know that we need to go to also 62443-4-2 at the product level, so that actually given even more low risk or even more secure product to our customer. And then we also understand that on the legal side or on the regulatory side, things are also evolving and changing or enhancing through the days. So I think that process for us is also continuous. So we'll need to work with expertise like BV and also definitely understand the market more or hear from the industry more. I think to also really see what we need to do. So like what we did on -1 is a process to bring in that cybersecurity concept into our existing process. I think that will keep on going.
Yeah, that's why we have in BV, we have decided a few years ago to start with this 6443, and you have 2.4, 3.3, 3-3, -4.1 as you have today, -4-2 tomorrow. And this is why we try to convince our Taiwanese partners to go ahead and to be compliant with this standard, because it will be really mandatory for the coming years. And when you look on another side, which is more IoT, every country now is developing their own regulation.
Right.
So if you want to export your products, you need to be compliant with Singapore regulation, with India regulation, with Brazil regulation. That's why in BV we are developing a set of cybersecurity services coming from industrial to IoT, to support our customer to reach their target, because their target is to be compliant with the world, and the world is requesting cybersecurity.
Yeah, you're right. I think the other different regulatory is also evolving, and also it also depends
A lot,
on different countries.
A bit slow,
Okay,
but it's going faster and faster.
I see.
Because the hackers, they are going also faster and faster, right?
Yeah. So yeah, that definitely is something we really will need to work with you guys furthermore to really understand the different regulatory and see what we need to do on our side as a manufacturer.
So thank you for your trust.
Thank
I
you.
hope that everything will go smooth, and then we can collaborate further in the future.
Yes, it's been a great journey so far, and then I think
Quite difficult, right?
It is. There's a lot to do to understand and then to implement. Yes, and then right now it's the execution time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Roy.
Thank you, Pascal. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Well, it was not perfect, but we need to have a second shot now, huh?
Perfect.
Okay.
And then-